Today I want to talk about the crypto rally, whether I think it's going to continue, what coins I think are going to outperform, and also we had the weekly close, so I want to talk about some new setups that have formed over the past few days. Hello guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Matt and welcome to the weekly open. Just a quick disclaimer before we start, this is not financial advice and you should only trade if you are experienced. I want to start talking about the majors because I think that Bitcoin is going to outperform for a while now because it has the best narrative, which is that the banks are crashing, so people are putting their money into crypto. And if people are going to put money into crypto, it's always going to be Bitcoin. Also, Bitcoin is now performing so well that I think people are starting to FOMO into it. And most people are just going to FOMO into Bitcoin, considering that it's just the main one. On the weekly chart, you can see we broke through everything right now. We broke through this wick, we broke through this resistance. I talked about this wick last time. We were basically on this thing. We closed above. I was talking about taking profits at 28k or 32k. Yeah, we are now approaching the 28k level, which seems just great. So basically I will do this. You have this range. My idea is this. You have this range. I will be taking profits here, and once we get accepted into the range, meaning we close the daily above the bottom of the range, I will just get back in, just so I don't miss the next portion of the trade. For now, I will be taking profits, and I will consider this a resistance, which is gonna hold us until we break it. That's on the daily and on the weekly. Once we get through this, I will be doing the exact same thing on 32k. I will be taking profits here, and once we close a weekly above it, I will get back into the charts and look for some higher levels. But for now, it's these two prices. In the last video, I talked about how you can get into the next legs. I talked about just waiting for some consolidations, maybe this range, which could just hold, so you would trade the breakout, which actually kind of worked out. And that's basically about it. I hope you all are in some longs on Bitcoin, because it has just been crazy for the past few days. Even considering that, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing this. It's going absolutely parabolic, while S&P is doing this. It's basically consolidating. So yeah, Bitcoin's just overall going great against everything. It just looks great, and the narrative is also awesome. Like, we've never had such a narrative, I don't think. So it's just crazy. I think we're just gonna go way higher. Now I want to talk about ETH. I just want to say that if you are enjoying the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe, because it's free and you can always unsubscribe later. ETH is starting to look great on the USD chart, but I will show you the Bitcoin chart in a bit and you're gonna see that it's not as nice as it seems on this chart. So we broke the weekly level. We closed above. That's the first resistance. The next resistance is the stronger one, I think. It's this one. It's, what is it, 1930. I think that's the more important resistance now. Once we break that, we could maybe start outperforming Bitcoin for a bit. But for now, it's just the main one. Basically, you can see that it's even from here. It was a strong level all the way in the bull market. So yeah, I think it's the more important one. We're gonna struggle with it for a while, I think, but we may break it, and once we break it, we're gonna go way higher on ETH. I think that's the most important level on ETH USD weekly. On the daily, it looks a bit better because we broke through. I mean, I don't know if you can really call this a range, but yeah, say it's a range. We finally broke through the level. That was the most important one on the daily. Now we even broke through this one. We are finding support at it. So as long as this holds us, we're kinda looking good. But like, it's just not that great. It's not as great as Bitcoin, where like on ETH we're still at the summer levels, while on Bitcoin we're way higher. We're basically all above this wall dump. Now looking at ETH against Bitcoin, it looks way worse than the one against the dollar. It's basically this one. You broke the midpoint, so your most reasonable target would be the bottom of the range. As I talked about like 20 times before, I will be buying the bottom of the range for basically everything I have in Bitcoin, because it's just, I think it's one of the greatest and most safe, or like the safest trades out there. The trade would look something like this, where you would just buy the bottom. Your invalidation would be a weekly close below the bottom of the range. Your first target would be here. Your second target would be the top of the range. And I think once we get to the top of the range again, we might just break it, because we have tested it so many times. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy that we aren't already through the top of the range. But the bottom of the range might be outran by some of these levels. People might start buying this green box, I think, because it's close enough to the bottom, and people are just usually outrunning. Yeah, they're just buying before we get to the levels, because they are scared that it's not gonna get there. So be careful for these levels to be bought, but I think the main target is just this one, the bottom where you just buy and hold. It's a great setup. It's real easy to trade. And that's basically about it. This is on the weekly. On the daily, it's not like, look at this. I talked about this double bottom forming, then I talked about this double top, and I said that if this support doesn't hold us, we're gonna go way lower, and the support turned out to not hold us, so we went way lower. You can see that wait, what is this level? Oh yeah, this is the level on the weekly. The one I drew, this green box, which you can see held us a few times before, but I think we're just gonna break it and go to the bottom of the range. So yeah, I think that's the most important trade here on ETH. Now I just want to talk about some setups that are the most interesting, or that I find the most interesting. One of them is Matic. You can see that it's still holding the weekly support. It's basically like a retest. You have this whole consolidation, then it broke out. Now we retested the support, so we could go way higher. As long as we are on the support, I think that we are bullish. We're just retesting the support. On the daily, it's not as clear. You basically have the same retest of this range. Your resistances would be, I think this is a very important level, as you can see. Was support here, now it's resistance. So I would wait for us to get through these levels, but on the weekly it doesn't look as bad as the other coins. Most of the altcoins just look like they're gonna underperform Bitcoin for a while now, and I think this is one of the stronger ones, but it's still not the greatest or safest bet you can take. Also, you have Matic against Bitcoin, where we are approaching support, which I find pretty good, as we could just bounce from the support and then go back up. But this is on the weekly, so it could take like a month until we bounce. So I think you're just better off staying in Bitcoin. I also want to talk about Litecoin. This trade that has been like pretty big on the crypto Twitter. So if you saw this, I bet you did. So Litecoin is one of the most outperforming, or like was one of the most outperforming coins of this whole rally, or basically ever since we started going back up, even before that actually. And now it went back down. We are finding support at the only support level there is, which is this box between $75 and $80. We did find support here, but this is on the weekly. But look at the Litecoin Bitcoin chart on the weekly. It's not looking as great. We broke back down below this support, which has been huge for a while now. As you can see, it's this one, this support, and we closed below it. So it's not that great. Now we have these levels, this whole consolidation here. And if we don't do something like this, we would hit the support this week and then just maybe consolidate for a week and then just bounce back up. I don't think there's much more upside to Litecoin remaining. The USD chart doesn't look as bad, but the Bitcoin chart does look bad. Now I want to also talk about BNB. I talked about this in the last video. This daily setup, basically you have this resistance, which has been holding us for a while. You can see this, you had a fake out, and now we are approaching the resistance again. It seems like we could finally close above it. The trade would look something like this. You open above the resistance, your invalidation is the daily close back below. I think the most reasonable target is this one. I will show you why. Look at the weekly. This is the weekly chart. You have this range, again this resistance. And once we close above it, the most reasonable target I think is just this, because targeting this thing is, it doesn't make much sense, because your trade would be like something like this. So you're not even above 1 RRI. So this is the most reasonable thing to take on the BNB chart. BNB against Bitcoin though looks pretty good. We did right now break the support, but I think it could still hold us. You can also look at this one. This is still a support, still valid. So I think once we break this, we're starting to look really bad, but till then, I think we could still bounce back up out of the range and just go for the new highs. But yeah, just wait for the closes, guys. Don't rush into the trades. I think BNB is one of the strongest coins out there, but just don't rush into it. Wait for the daily close above this at least, and just check the weekly chart against Bitcoin, just so you know that you are outperforming Bitcoin and it's not pointless to be in the altcoins for now. Yeah, so I think that's all from me for today. These are the most important coins I found in the charts. Well, have good luck in your trades, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.